Hi guys, welcome to the video. Today I want to give away a free code for one of my most beloved Marvel movies of all time. This is obviously pre-Marvel Cinematic Universe. My favourite Marvel character of all the Marvel characters there is. Yep, the Punisher. Uh, Absolutely love all the incarnations of him, be it Dolph Lundgren's, Thomas Jane's, Ray Stevenson, and obviously John Berthenthal, if that's how you pronounce it. I'm pretty sure it is. Obviously, he making his appearance in the Netflix Daredevil series, and then obviously going on to make his own Punisher series on there before Netflix lost the contract, so to speak. Uh, it was very good in the Daredevil, brilliant in the Punisher TV series. But in my honest opinion, best Punisher of all is Thomas Jane. Just perfect for the role. Brilliant actor. The guy's just acting skill is just amazing. Obviously, Dolph Lundgren, he played him first, and obviously you can get that on DVD, Blu-ray, download it, stream it, and it's yeah, not a bad release. But as I said, not the best Punisher. Um, Obviously, as I've already said, the John Berthenthal one from the Netflix series, be it where he crossed over with Daredevil or his own, they haven't released the Punisher series on Blu-ray yet. So, and God only knows when that's going to happen. Obviously, I have the Daredevil set over the back there, along with my other Marvel stuff just there. I say other Marvel stuff, I'm talking about MCU movies. But yeah, I didn't bother pulling that out of the pile. Movie wise, though, obviously the original Thomas Jane Punisher movie. I say original in the fact that the story is a really good take on it, because obviously the Dolph Lundgren one, and I don't want to spoil it for anyone who hasn't seen it, is based on the family being killed by a car bomb and him escaping. I just happen to like Thomas Jane's versions better, and John Travolta is an absolutely brilliant criminal. Plays the villain so well, and well, anyone who's seen Face Off will know that. Uh, so if you've never seen the Thomas Jane version of the Punisher with John Travolta as said bad guy, I suggest you see it. I have various different iterations and copies of the Punisher. I have the bog standard UK DVD, which is tracked away in one of the cupboards. But one of my prized possessions that I ordered all the way from the States back in the day of DVD, when, well, I know DVD is still a thing, but the matchbook version of the extended cut of the Punisher, very hard to get hold of, incredibly rare. Obviously, I've got to hold the camera, but take off Punisher face, and hold on, if I just put this down here so you can see it, you get a superb picture of the Punisher on there, which then flips out to reveal more pictures, a little exclusive art booklet, and obviously it's the extended cut of the movie. The extended scenes at the beginning are animated, like storyboarded, but with voiceover work done on them. And then obviously there's all the other scenes during the film, like you find out why, and once again, I don't want to spoil it for anyone, but the how and the why of him being sold out, basically, and his identity being given away so that John Travolta's character Howard Saint can track him down and and the family and do what he has to do. Obviously today, before we go any further, the original first release of the Punisher on Blu-ray, which I ordered from Canada, because obviously it was region free, had to have it. Absolutely, like I say, I absolutely love the movie. And then obviously Lionsgate, when they released that, I mean, it's gritty anyway, but you know, it's not got the best picture quality for a copy. But over here in the UK, for anyone who is interested, Sony released the Punisher. In fact, the Punisher 1 and 2, and you can buy this box set. I think Zoom had it for something like $8.99 the other day when I was just browsing. I just noticed it. Obviously, I brought it on day one release because the Sony Blu-ray is brilliant. I mean, it's like a lot of Sony films that. A prime example is over here in the UK, we Studio Canal own Cliffhanger. Now, obviously, the picture is when watching it in 4K, you can get your megabyte readout, as you can when you're watching in, Blu-ray and so on. But it's 35 megabytes per second at its peak. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't really go much above that. And if it does, it is literally just for split seconds. In the States, I believe it peaks up to 100 megabytes a second because they have a Sony encode for their release. And if anyone from the States is watching and you can get hold of a copy of Cliffhanger on 4K and by somehow send it to me, I'd happily pay for it. It's just I tried to order it off Amazon the other day, even though I do have the UK 4K version. But the import and tax fees and everything was just horrendous. I think it said something like £18.30 just to import it, as well as the $22 or something it was to buy it. So all in all, I'm looking at about 30 quid. And my missus was going over to New York. She was going to pick it up for me then when she went. But obviously with this coronavirus and what have you, that had to be cancelled. So just wait until I can get it. But yeah, I'd love a US 4K copy of Cliffhanger. I absolutely love that movie. But getting back to what I was talking about, the Sony encodes of the Punisher movies, are better than the Lionsgate ones. But the Lionsgate ones came out a lot sooner. And obviously I had to get it as soon as I heard it was out over in the States, the 4K version of the Punisher. Yes, obviously it has massive uptick in picture quality, and obviously a lot of the grain has been toned down because it seemed like a lot of the grain was artificial, not so much there, it was just noise for the sake of adding noise. But a lot of that has gone on this. Unfortunately, this isn't the extended cut or anything like that. It is just the theatrical version of the Punisher. So, I shall forever keep that DVD until the very day that an extended cut of the Punisher comes out. So, Sony UK, if you're listening, get on with a 4K release of the Punisher, please, extended cut. Obviously, my friends across the pond in the States been, I think, about the only country that ever had the extended cut, because obviously that's where I got that one from, and that's the only one I've ever seen. I do have a digital code to give away for that today, for whoever's lucky enough to get that code. Obviously, the only other part of the Punisher I wanted to show you that I actually have is, which I had to, and obviously I've got it in that box set. But I also, before that came out over here, I got a copy of it from Spain. I've had this absolutely ages. I really, really love this one. This one is a really sort of like... it's really dark and gritty violence, but it's done in a, really graphic novel sort of way. Hence the Marvel Knights logo, because obviously that was a different department of Marvel Comics that done a more mature themed comic book, for violence levels and stuff like that. Ray Stevenson is pretty damn good as the Punisher, but once again, like I say, Thomas Jane, best Punisher of all. Hell, I enjoy his Punisher so much. I even had a custom made Lego version of the Punisher keyring made specially, which sits pride of place on my shelf over there, if you can just about see it in the distance. But yeah, that and various other Punisher stuff sort of hidden up around this room, along with, like I say, the part of the collection. Someone asked to see it. There's the 70-inch TV that I try and enjoy my movies on. Sorry if the picture's a bit crap, but I am just doing this off my phone, as anyone who's watched my videos knows. A bit more of the collection. There's a cupboard just round the corner there full of them. This is just stuff that I never get to pack away. Another cupboard full of DVDs over there. This shelf here, absolutely rammed with films. Still a few DVDs hanging around down there at the bottom, as well as, like I say, a wardrobe over there, absolutely packed with them. Then I've got my pop vinyls up on the top, as you can see. If I turn that around and show that. Oh, where is it? There is a Punisher up there next to Daredevil in the pop vinyl form, because I just had to have it. Anyway, as I said, anyone who's never watched a Punisher film, obviously by all means, watch the Dolph Lundgren one, watch the Ray Stevenson one, and if you can, watch the Daredevil season 2. That's where obviously the Punisher gets introduced into that world, which unfortunately, unless some deal can be made, I don't know if they're ever going to take that any further forward. And then carry on by watching his other Punisher series that they made subsequently after. Okay, right. Where did I put that digital code? Oh, here it is. Right. Obviously, this says this is a USA code, but from what I've been told, you can. It says code is redeemable only in the US at, obviously, the address, which I'll show you in a second, just to keep it in the interest of fairness for everyone who might want to get hold of it. But I think it just comes down to, if you're in the UK and you try it, as long as you've got a sign up for a US email address, you might get lucky enough to get it. Now, as I always say, some codes can be used more than once. I know of codes that have been used like 10 times, and everyone managed to get a copy of the film. But some are one or done, some are one or two or three. You never can tell. But I just like to share it out because I'm not going to use it, and in these troubled times, what better way to sit back, kick back, and forget about what's going on for a little while? Just relax with a movie. This one is a really enjoyable one anyway. The Punisher. If you don't get hold of the code, get yourself a copy of it. I mean, obviously, if you can get the 4K one, go for it. But obviously, anyone in the UK won't be able to get the 4K unless you want to pay horrendously huge import duty from Amazon. But obviously, if you can get that extended cut on DVD and you've got a great upscaler, you can still have a pretty good picture, but get the entire film the way it was meant to be. Hopefully one day they get around to doing a ultimate cut, and everyone can enjoy it. Anyway, here's that code. Hopefully everyone can see that. Okay. And when you're done this, and you want to see a little bit of Thomas Jane's Punisher in action, get yourself on YouTube and look up the mini movie Dirty Laundry. If you like the video, click like, subscribe, share it. Thank you very much, guys, for watching. Take care. See you soon.